Battlefield 2042 is days away from early access release, and today's video, don't jump at the headline. I am super pumped to play this game, but I just want to talk about some of my concerns around the game. So let's jump right in and talk about this.
Welcome
to Uplink. But before we do jump in, I have some huge news that I want to let you all know. And it's about our podcast that Sammy and myself do called The Battlefield Show. This Sunday, November 14th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time or 4 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll be able to join us live for a first ever live episode of The Battlefield Show, going over our thoughts and enjoyments around Battlefield 2042 post-launch. So definitely come join us for that. So last week I did a video on the 5 reasons I'm super excited about Battlefield 2042, and I'm super excited. I can't wait to finally experience this game that we've been waiting for so long that caused the death of 2 other games. I'm so pumped it's finally coming here. But as I promised in that video, I want to do a video on some of the reasons why I'm not excited about this, and it's more of just a provocative title to talk about some of the concerns I may have with the gameplay or with other aspects of it. So that's the perspective that I'm coming into this. I'm not hating on the game. I'm actually really excited about the game and overall really looking forward to it. But I just want to look at some of the ways that I am not as excited for Battlefield 2042. My first reason, and probably the biggest reason that I have some concerns around Battlefield 2042, isn't the specialist system. I'm not even going to touch that in this video. That's a completely different thing. I made another video on that, and well, I think there's good things and bad things around the specialist. It's going to be fine. Hopefully. We'll see. But I'm not going to talk about that. That's not one of the concerns I have for this game. The biggest one is just pun intended, honestly, didn't even run into that, but I'm gonna own it. It's just the large scale maps. I have not been overly impressed with the map in the beta. I think Orbital was way too big for the amount of people in it. But I think that's ultimately the fault of the mode versus the fault of the map itself. It's a mixed bag, but I think Orbital and all the other maps on Breakthrough are going to be very good, where it's 128 players in a single sector. I think that's going to be fantastic, and I think it's going to bring a lot of really fun gameplay that I've been looking for in Battlefield 2042 that I have not been shown yet, at least in All Out Warfare, because All Out Warfare is just focusing on the big stuff, and then there's Hazard Zone, and then there's Portal. So we'll see what that looks like in the full release and the full experience of the game, but my experiences in the beta just weren't overly positive with the map. I felt like, one, I was running around a lot, and there were only a few places in the map that had some really fun activity. Again, you can play the objective, but also if the objective is you're claiming a point all by yourself, that really kind of limits the fun that you can have. If everybody's on the skyscraper and you're on the outskirts claiming an objective, it's not overly fun. At least in my opinion. So that's probably the biggest one that I have there. Jumping sizes completely, on the other hand, probably the second thing that I'm concerned about is just the small scale mode support. Now, I'm one of those weirdos that loves the small scale modes of Battlefield series. I love Rush, I love Gunmaster, I love Team Deathmatch. And so far, we haven't seen a support of those. Maybe that's something that we see in the future, or maybe it's a permanent rotation in Portal, but I don't think it necessarily should be in Portal. It should be in the full Battlefield experience. If you want to have those games, you shouldn't be forced to go to Portal. What if those modes just don't get made? Or they do get made, but it's Gunmaster, but you only cycle through shotguns and pistols. That's not my jam, honestly. But maybe it is yours. But that's probably the second biggest reason that I have to have some concerns around Battlefield 2042. It just seems like All Out Warfare. I mean, it's pretty much those 2 modes. And then you've got Portal, which is a self-contained experience, honestly. It's developed by Ripple Effect Games, so not even DICE is working on that. And then you have Hazard Zone. And Hazard Zone, while it is going to be smaller, it's not going to be on the same level of a Rush or a Team Deathmatch. It's a completely different experience, and that's fair. I think it should be added to the game, but I would like to see some support for those small scale game modes. And finally, this is going to be just a shorter video. I only have the 3 that I want to talk about versus the 5 in the positives. See you guys, I'm super pumped. But the third thing that I'm probably most concerned about in Battlefield 2042 is that support. This game is going to need some work, and DICE has not overly impressed me with its level of support for its games. Obviously, they're going to put in the effort and the work to get it turned around, but in terms of like adding skins or even quick limited time game modes or anything really timely, I don't really trust them to put it in there. Now, will they fix bugs and stuff in a relatively timely manner? 100%. But there's definitely this strange prioritization over those bugs, and everyone gets put on that, which is good, but they don't go in and add new skins. At least historically, Battlefield 5 struggled with that, and Battlefront 2 heavily struggled with that, and that's something that I would love to see more of, is that quick support that we've come to see and expect in other games like Apex or even Call of Duty or any of these other games where they have that quick succession and updates on everything. The game is huge, by no means. I'm not undervaluing the scale of this game. But if you look at the numbers, they've got 7 maps and they've got 22 weapons and a lot of different attachments. They can definitely prioritize highly more of the standard live service level. I mean, we are 3 days away from the Battlefield 2042 early access or early release for the game, and we still don't know how the battle pass is going to be adjusting or how that's going to work for the game. So that's definitely something that I'm not overly confident in their abilities to fully deliver on, and I think it's definitely important because you're paying, if you're going to buy this on next-gen consoles, you're basically paying $70, and then you also have to pay, if you want the battle pass, another $20 to $30 for the battle pass, and you still don't even know what that is. So that's definitely a concern of mine. But overall, really pumped the game. I don't know how well they'll do in terms of addressing these concerns, or even if it's something that they want to address. I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the things that you're most excited about and kind of some things that you're struggling to deal with Battlefield 2042. I'd love to have that discussion with you. Keep it positive too. I've greatly been enjoying the discussions that I've been having in the comments, and I love how they haven't been overly negative and they've been very fair when it has been negative. So thank you so much for joining this community and interacting with us. It's been great. So thank you all so much. Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, definitely do hit the like button. If you didn't like this video, the other button works as well. And if you're not subscribed, definitely do consider subscribing. As always, we'll see you on the battlefield.